This is KGW News at noon.
Just hours ago, more than a dozen Portland Public School and public safety officials met to talk about solutions to the gun violence impacting students. Hello, everyone. I'm Brenda Braxton. Thank you for joining us today. In the last 3 months, we have seen 4 shootings near Portland high schools. At today's meeting, law enforcement and school officials said they plan to tackle this problem from every angle, including early intervention.
At Multnomah County, we are working on the issue of community violence and gun violence, both in upstream ways, being deeply invested in prevention through our work with early childhood programs, through the presence that we have in our son's school programs, really in meeting young people and their families early and staying with them to build that stability that they need.
In addition, Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler proposed a $5 million investment in what he calls credible interveners. Those are people respected in the community who could be a factor in preventing a shooting before it happens. Wheeler also called on state government to make greater investments in public safety.
We are not having a problem recruiting police officers in the city of Portland. One of the pinch points in terms of getting those recruited officers active on the streets is that they are required to have state training and state certification through the DPSST. And right now there is a shortage of academy slots.
Among the things the mayor is asking for to help ease the backlog, new training facilities closer to the metro area. He also asked for Measure 114, Oregon's gun control law, to be implemented. Voters passed it back in November, but a state judge temporarily blocked it from taking effect. Well, making sure kids get to school safely is another part of the plan. The feds are giving Oregon millions of dollars to improve traffic near more than 24 schools statewide. It's called the Safe Route to School Project. Here's KGW's Alma McCarty with what we know right now.
A safe walk to school isn't always guaranteed. High-speed roads, a lack of light, the absence of bike lanes or even sidewalks are barriers.
No parent wants to say goodbye, have a great day to their child, thinking that that person could not make it safely to and from school.
Shelley Snow with the Oregon Department of Transportation says they're working to chip away at that, making as many routes as safe as they can. Upgrades are on the way around schools like Witch Hazel Elementary in Hillsborough and Templeton Elementary in Tigard. 24 more school routes across the state of Oregon will also get much needed enhancements like signage, crosswalks, sidewalks, and curb ramps to the tune of $32.4 million. The projects all 4 Title I schools were selected from more than 80 applications.
We're talking about rural areas, suburban areas, urban areas, a real mix of schools and neighborhoods.
As for a timeline, each of the 26 improvements should be complete within the next couple of years.
Part of the agreement is they have to report to us on their progress so that we make sure these funds are going to where they need to go, that they're actually making a difference. And over the years, it has been amazing to see community after community, school after school, neighborhood after neighborhood, making these kinds of improvements.
Alma McCarty, KGW News.
The Portland Fire Bureau has designated 64 buildings unsafe for first responders to enter. That includes this one. It's the former Korean church destroyed in an arson downtown last week. Crews had to fight those flames from the outside. These types of designations are specifically for firefighters. They don't necessarily mean a building is unsafe for everyday use. The old Korean church was flagged because it was also the scene of a fire a few years back. It happened to be vacant, but a lot of the other buildings on this list are occupied. For instance, the Barber Court Apartments in Southwest Portland, or this old house also in Southwest that was turned into an apartment complex. City inspectors are responsible for the safety of these types of residences, and they decide if and when they need to be condemned.
There completely within the fire code, building code to be operated in the manner that they're in. And there's numerous of them. They're relatively safe for day-to-day habitation and use, but they present unique hazards to responders.
So what puts a building on that unsafe list for firefighters? The city says unrepaired fire damage or any type of damage, demolition, or unpermitted repairs on the inside. Well, one lane of Highway 101 in southern Oregon is expected to reopen this afternoon. A stretch 12 miles south of Port Orford has been closed since early Monday morning. Rain cracked and buckled the road, and more rain is forecast in the area today, which could delay the reopening. We'll let you know. Well, it's wet here in the metro area too, but Rod, it really doesn't feel like January because it's so mild.
Yeah, mild temperatures to me makes it a pretty nice day. By the way, there have been breaks in that Port Orford area, so hopefully the construction workers down there will be able to get part of that highway reopened. You can see the rain still moving kind of south, pushing up the north to the northeast. Right now, a breakdown in Eugene. We've had not much of a break all morning here in Portland, but the rain, and you know this by looking at the light to kind of slightly darker green colors, has been just gentle. Absolutely nothing stormy, and with the gentle raindrops and the mild temperatures, really pretty nice. Still tracking a wet parking lot up at Timberline Lodge. Temperatures come down a little bit up there, 35 degrees. Snow level is above 7,000 feet earlier this morning. It will be coming down as low as about 6,000 feet by dinner time tonight. That's still just wet Cascade passes and no difficulty if you're traveling over the mountains at some point today. Cloud cover solid. Here's Willamette Valley Vineyards just south of Salem off of I-5, and the same solid cloud deck just holding above the West Hills, the elevation of the clouds. 49 is our temperature. We haven't budged all morning. We'll be up into the low 50s, it looks like, this afternoon. Parts of the weekend look significantly drier than what we've had the last couple of days. That forecast is coming up.
See you then. Thank you, Rod. Well, a big change for people who receive SNAP benefits. The supplemental checks that help folks get through the pandemic are ending next month. Congress approved a bill diverting the extra SNAP money to other initiatives, and that effectively ends the declaration of a nationwide public health emergency. We will have more on what to expect moving forward in a new report tonight on KGW News at 5.